In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Callaway Rogue irons and talking about whether or not they're worth picking up. So what we're going to be covering in this video are my first impressions, how it actually performed, how is the sound and feel to it, some pros and cons, and also the best place to buy. So if you just are looking for the best and cheapest place to pick it up, I will leave a link down below. At the time of the video, that was the best place we could find it, so you can go ahead and check it out if you want. But let's start with my first impressions of the iron. So Callaway has been my favorite golf company for a while now, and when they released the Rogue series, I was pretty excited to get my hands on them and test them out. They were designed to be a game improvement iron, which would help with distance and forgiveness the most. I was using the previous Steelhead XR irons before this, but long story short, I have switched and I now use the Rogue irons. But let's talk a little bit about the sound and feel to them. So in my opinion, these are one of the better looking irons on the market, and also one of the more comfortable to swing as well. They have a bit of a thicker top edge and there's a good amount of offset on them. The club does have a bit of a thinner face to it, and it was designed basically to improve the sound and give more feel and feedback at impact, which I was definitely a big fan of, and I definitely noticed an improvement over my previous Steelhead irons. How did it perform? So I've swung a lot of Rogue clubs and they've all been great, and the irons were exactly the same. They were definitely longer than my previous Steelheads since they did produce a bit more ball speed. I'm not always the most consistent striker, but I really noticed an improvement in my shot pattern. It was more of a consistent shot pattern, and it was really a lot more consistent compared to my old irons. But overall, the performance was nothing short of awesome. I didn't really have a whole lot of bad things to say about it. No, distance was good, forgiveness was good, and that's pretty much all you can really ask for in a game improvement iron. But let's talk about some pros and cons. So, they are reasonably priced for a high-end iron. They are a little bit expensive, but I mean, there are a lot of irons that are a lot more money. The sound and feel of the clubs were great. They were longer and more forgiving than my previous irons. Cons, probably not the best for low handicaps or beginners. They're suited more for like mid handicappers in my opinion. If you are a low handicapper, you'll probably want more workability with the ball, and these probably aren't the best options. If you're a beginner, there are definitely clubs that offer more more forgiveness. It's probably better off that you go with something like that. There is the there's the Cleveland launchers, there's the Big Berthas, that kind of thing. But overall, I definitely like them if you're a mid handicap. They're not the most workable irons, we just mentioned that, and those are kind of the two main things I noticed. But let's talk about the breakdown. So performance score, I'll give it a 9, price score, I'll give it an 8, sound and feel score, I'll give it a 10, personal score a 9, which is definitely really solid. Frequently asked questions, so the difference between the Rogue and the Apex irons. I found the Rogues to be longer and more forgiving for me. Which Rogue irons are best for me? So the standard Rogue has a bit more workability, and then the Rogue X is slightly bigger and more forgiving. So if you just need something that's straight, like forgiving, maybe you're not very consistent with the ball, you don't hit it on the sweet spot very often, maybe the Rogue X are going to be a bit better for you. But if you are a little bit more consistent, I would say if you're like a mid handicap, you want a little bit of workability and versatility with the ball, the standard Rogues would probably be your better option. Difference between the Rogue and the AP1 irons. I had pretty similar results with both, and I would recommend the Rogue since they are a little bit cheaper. But is it worth it? Taking into account all the pros, all the cons, I would say if you're looking for a quality game improvement iron, this could be perfect for you. It's not geared towards low handicap players, but it's definitely one of the longer and more forgiving irons that I've personally tested, and I definitely do really like them. The cheapest place I could find them is down below, so you can go check that out if you want. That's the cheapest place we could find it at the time of this video. But if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I will just mention our monthly golf giveaway. So if you want to enter in, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment giveaway down below. Simply do both and you'll be automatically entered. Alright, so that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.